Listen closely. You need to hear this. Yesterday, the universe pulled a thread, a tiny, almost invisible thread, and most of the world, completely oblivious, lost in the noise, scrolling, distracted. But something shifted, deep down. Can you feel it? While everyone else was looking the other way, a silent click echoed through the cosmos. April 4th. Mercury, already spinning backwards, met the North Node, fate's compass point, in the deep, watery realm of Pisces. No fireworks, no grand announcement, just a change in the current. Maybe you blinked. Maybe even the experts looked away for a second. But your soul? Oh, it heard the whisper. Because today you're swimming in the consequence. That seemingly quiet alignment, it might have just cracked open a doorway you never knew existed. Not with a bang, but with a subtle pressure, a feeling that the path under your feet isn't quite the same as it was 24 hours ago. Tell me right now. Drop it in the comments below. Did you feel anything strange yesterday? A weird sense of déjà vu? An unexpected emotion? A sudden fog rolling into your thoughts? Type "felt it" in the comments if any part of yesterday felt off. I need to know who else is tuning into this frequency. And that brain fog? That feeling like you're wading through mental quicksand? Forgetting names? Losing your train of thought? Feeling like time itself is stretching and snapping like a rubber band? Stick with me. There is a very specific reason this is happening, and it's more important than you think. I'll break it down, piece by cosmic piece, before this is over. By the end, you'll understand why that quiet little moment yesterday might be the single biggest plot twist unfolding in your life right now. But hold on, because something else is happening today, something even stranger, woven into the fabric of this quiet intensity. If today feels heavy, still, like the world is holding its breath, pay attention. This isn't just a lull, it's the fallout. It's the space after the whisper, where the real integration begins. For some of you, today might feel like suspended animation. Not sad, not happy, just flat. Like your emotional volume knob got turned way down. Your thoughts? Maybe they're just drifting, like clouds in a windless sky. That's not you being broken. That's not depression creeping in. That is the system rebooting. Understand this. When Mercury, the mind, the messenger, touch the North Node, the point of destiny and soul growth, while swimming backwards through the intuitive ocean of Pisces, it wasn't about external fireworks. It activated something inside. It dropped a frequency bomb that resonates in your bones, not on your phone screen. That silence you might be feeling today, that strange mental fog, that unshakable sense that something is coming even if you can't name it. That is the activation. That's the download starting. But here's where most people get it wrong. The blessing, the message, the unlock from yesterday's alignment. It isn't showing up as a flashing neon sign. No sudden lottery wins. No dramatic declarations of love landing in your inbox. Right now, it might just show up as emptiness, a void, a quiet space. And the danger? Most people hate emptiness. They'll scramble to fill it, turn up the music, binge another show, scroll endlessly, call anyone just to hear a voice. They'll mistake the sacred pause for boredom, for nothing happening. They'll rush past the very space where the magic is trying to land. But you, if you're hearing this, maybe you're different. The ones who can lean into this quiet. The ones who can sit in the stillness, even when it feels uncomfortable, without flinching. You are the ones who will receive the full transmission over the next few days. Because Pisces, it doesn't shout. It speaks in dreams, in gut feelings, in symbols that rise from the deep, in the stillness between breaths. Don't let your overthinking mind cancel out your soul's calling right you. Something is trying to click into place for you today. Maybe it already happened, a fleeting idea that felt strangely resonant, a random memory surfacing with unusual clarity, a feeling about a situation that suddenly just made sense. It could have been incredibly subtle, a whisper behind the noise of your day, a moment you almost dismissed as unimportant. But then, almost instantly, didn't something else show up? A doubt? A critical inner voice? A sudden wave of anxiety? A reason why that intuitive hit couldn't possibly be right? That is not a coincidence. That is Mercury retrograde, tangled with fate, doing its most insidious work, scrambling the signal, rewinding the tape just enough to make you question the truth that just landed. It throws static on the line, making you second-guess the pure, intuitive knowing. This alignment speaks the language of intuition, raw, unfiltered, pre-logical. That means the first message, the one that came in fast, maybe without a clear explanation, the one that just felt right in your core, that is the signal. Everything that came after, the doubt, the fear, the overanalysis, that's the noise. That's the retrograde interference pattern. If you sit with it, truly sit with it, you might notice the pattern. Every time a moment of clarity breaks through the fog, it's immediately followed by a hesitation, an internal negotiation, a yeah, but what if voice. That's the trap. That's the spiral designed to pull you away from your own inner compass. Follow that spiral, and you'll miss the entire point of this potent, energetic window. Understand this. Doubt is not always wisdom. Right now, it might be sabotage, dressed up as caution. Stop looking for external proof. Stop waiting for someone else to validate what your soul already knows. This is a moment where trust has to move faster than logic. It's not about figuring it all out with your struggling mind. It's about grabbing onto the thread of that initial feeling, that quiet knowing, and following it, even if, especially if, it makes no logical sense right now. This window of clarity, this direct line, it won't stay wide open forever. The frequency is potent now. If you let that initial spark fade, if you let the doubts bury it, you will convince yourself later that it was nothing. Just a stray thought. And it wasn't nothing. It was the path lighting up. Now what if the confirmation you're craving doesn't come as a thought or a feeling, but as a person? Because listen, not everyone reaching out right now is just a random blast from the past. Some might be echoes from your future. There's a strange resonance today, isn't there? Familiar names flashing on your phone, unfinished conversations suddenly demanding attention, messages from people you haven't connected with in months, maybe even years, appearing out of the blue. Don't just brush this off as coincidence or simple nostalgia. It's an energetic ping. When Mercury retrograde dances with the North Node in Pisces, the veils between time don't just thin, they dissolve. Connections resurface, but it's not random. There is a purpose, a specific energetic signature behind each person who crosses your mind or your path right now with unusual intensity. If someone surfaces today, in your thoughts, in your dreams, in your inbox, and it feels significant, somehow charged, pause. Don't react on autopilot. There's a reason they are emerging from the mist now. Some are here as mirrors, reflecting a part of you that needs acknowledging. Some hold keys to unlocking old patterns. Some are reminders of who you once were, showing you how far you've come. And some are reactivating soul contracts, agreements made on a level beyond this lifetime, left open, waiting for this precise, energetic moment for potential renewal, or perhaps finally, for release. Listen to the words, yes, but pay far more attention to the feeling. How does the interaction resonate in your body? Does it feel expansive, light, like it's opening a door? Or does it feel heavy, draining, like an anchor pulling you back into murky waters? You are not just receiving a message or having a chat. You are actively choosing a timeline with every interaction today. Choose wisely. You won't always get clarity whispered on the wind or painted in dream symbols. Sometimes, the universe speaks through the people standing right in front of you, even the ones you least expect, especially them. The universe isn't just whispering through the veil today, it's using human vessels to deliver its messages. Now let's talk about things falling apart. Because if it feels like your plans are hitting brick walls today, if conversations are going sideways, if something crucial seems to be slipping through your fingers just when you thought you had it locked down, slow down. Breathe. This isn't necessarily chaos. It isn't bad luck punishing you. This is precision. Mercury retrograde, especially fused with the North Node's karmic and destined energy, doesn't just randomly mess things up for kicks. It interrupts what isn't aligned. It intercepts the trajectory that's leading you away from your soul's true path. It performs real-time edits on your timeline, slamming doors that need to stay shut and subtly cracking open others you might not have even noticed. Sometimes the frustrating delay is the divine intervention. Sometimes the unanswered call, the email that gets lost, the plan that implodes, is actually saving you from a detour you didn't need to take. You asked the universe for alignment, remember? You prayed for your highest path. You just didn't expect it to show up disguised as inconvenience, did you? That awkward silence in a conversation that makes you cringe. That project that suddenly stalls. That unexpected no that stings. It's not rejection in the way your ego perceives it. It is redirection. This is the kind of cosmic energy that throws up roadblocks and detours, not to thwart you, but to sneak you onto a side path, one that leads directly to the place your soul has been yearning for, a place your logical mind never would have found on its own. It's so easy to assume blessings should feel warm and fuzzy, that divine guidance should arrive gracefully wrapped in a golden bow. But this Mercury North Node conjunction in Pisces, this isn't a soft, gentle nudge. It's catalytic. It carries the energy of breakdown before breakthrough. Sometimes a cracked plan, a shattered expectation, is the only way the light of truth can penetrate your defenses. So, when things inevitably go sideways today, or feel frustratingly stuck, pause. Resist the urge to push harder, to force it, to react with anger or despair. Observe. What is this really showing you? There is a rerouting happening beneath the surface chaos. You don't have to like it. You don't have to understand it yet. But can you trust it? Can you trust that the interruption itself holds a deeper wisdom? Not all breakthroughs arrive on wings of inspiration. Some announce themselves with the jarring sound of things breaking. And those tears, that sudden wave of emotion that might hit you today, they aren't weakness. They might just be old timelines dissolving, leaving your system. There's something incredibly potent, almost overwhelmingly porous, in the emotional field right now. You might have already felt it, that sudden, inexplicable heaviness behind your eyes, a pang of grief that seems to come out of nowhere, maybe for something you can't even name. Waves of nostalgia so thick you could swim in them, maybe even for times or feelings that don't quite feel like yours. It's the kind of emotion that creeps up silently, stealthily, then crashes over you like a rogue wave, leaving you gasping, wondering where it came from. This isn't just a bad mood. This is undiluted Pisces energy, limitless, boundaryless, deeply connected to the collective emotional ocean, merging with Mercury retrograde's backward glance and the North Node's soul-level pull. What does this mean for you? It means you're not just processing your own stored memories and feelings. You're an open channel right now. You might be tuning into a vast, unseen emotional database. You could be weeping for a version of yourself that faded away years ago. You might be feeling the echoes of grief for something your future self is already releasing. You might even be processing fragments of collective sorrow, collective hope, collective love, raw emotional frequencies moving through the thinned veil, looking for a willing vessel to be felt through. And today, that vessel might just be you. Emotion, especially now, isn't just a reaction. It is information. It's energy moving. So if you feel cracked open today, if the tears flow unexpectedly, don't suppress it. Don't pathologize it. Let the ache move through you. Let the wave crash and recede. This isn't regression. It's release. It's your soul performing a deep cleanse, clearing out energetic residue, shedding frequencies that simply cannot come with you into your next chapter, your next timeline. You don't need to analyze the feeling into oblivion. You don't need to find a logical reason for it or try to fix it. Just witness it. Allow it. Because when you grant yourself permission to feel what's real, especially when it defies logic, you clear the energetic static. You make space. And what's waiting to fill that space? It might already be reaching for you, just beyond the veil of your current perception. This brings us to a crucial warning. Right now, with the gates flung wide open by this Pisces North Node activation, it is absolutely not the time to follow the loudest voice, either internal or external. It's time to tune into the quietest truth. The veil didn't just thin yesterday. For many, it feels like it dissolved entirely. If you're even remotely sensitive, you might feel like you're swimming, almost drowning, in a sea of signals, sensations, emotions, and psychic noise. It can be overwhelming, disorienting. But here lies the trap. Not everything you're picking up belongs to you. Not every feeling is yours to carry, and crucially, not everything that feels familiar is safe or true guidance. This is precisely the kind of deceptive energy that can trick you into believing you're following intuition, when in reality, you're just circling back into an old, comfortable, but ultimately limiting loop, perhaps just wrapped in a slightly prettier disguise this time. Be vigilant today. Old patterns, the ones you thought you'd conquered, might resurface with surprising strength, the kind that once felt like home but were actually carefully constructed prisons. You might feel an overwhelming urge to text that ex who consistently broke your heart. You might suddenly second-guess all your healing work and crave the familiar sting of something or someone that hurt you simply because the familiarity feels less terrifying than the unknown void. Not all nostalgia is a sacred message. Some of it is the ego, terrified of the profound shift underway, desperately begging you to turn around and go backwards. Don't fall for the noise. Don't mistake intensity for truth. Don't chase clarity through logic right now. Pisces laughs at spreadsheets and pro-con lists when it's operating at this depth. This isn't an astrological transit ruled by facts and figures. It's governed by feeling, by resonance, by the subtle energies that communicate directly with your soul. And when Mercury retrograde stirs this deep, intuitive ocean, clarity doesn't arrive through painstaking mental reasoning. It arrives like a tuning fork striking a chord within you, a sudden knowing, a sense of resonance that bypasses the analytical mind entirely. So, if your mind is screaming for control right now, if you're frantically searching for answers in old text threads, social media feeds, or demanding external signs, pause, breathe, drop anchor into your body. Where does the feeling lead? Trust your intuition, especially, if it makes zero logical sense yet. Trust that soft, persistent inner nudge, even when your brain is throwing a tantrum, yelling at you to figure it all out now. The trap lies in needing proof before you'll trust yourself. The power lies in trusting the resonance, the presence, the quiet knowing first. You are not losing your mind. You are being asked to let go of the wrong mind, the over-controlling, logic-obsessed part, so that a deeper, more ancient wisdom can finally guide you. Now remember, at the beginning, I told you there was a specific reason for the brain fog, the zoning out, the lost words, the time slips. This is it. Mercury retrograde, swirling in the oceanic depths of Pisces, touching the fated North Node. It's not just about communication mishaps like sending an email to the wrong person. It's a total system override designed to take your relentlessly linear, logical, checklist-making brain offline. Not because it's broken, but because something far deeper, far more intuitive, is trying to come online. Right now, your thoughts might feel like static on a radio. Your memories might blur at the edges. You might walk into a room and completely forget why. You might find yourself saying things you didn't consciously plan to say, words bubbling up from a deeper well. This is not dysfunction. Please hear me. This is sacred disorientation. This energy is deliberately scrambling the parts of your mind addicted to control, the parts that endlessly overanalyze, rationalize, and second-guess every flicker of genuine intuition. Mercury in Pisces is the cosmic exhale. It's meant to be foggy, nebulous, confusing to the logical mind. Why? So that you finally stop frantically searching for a map and start trusting the pull, the invisible current guiding you. You are not supposed to think your way through this phase. You are being invited, pushed, perhaps even dragged, to feel your way forward. And that feeling, that soft inner nudge, that quiet resonance, it's been trying to get your attention for a long, long time. It just couldn't break through the mental chatter and noise. Until now. So if you've been forgetting the right words, good. You don't need perfect words today. What matters now isn't the eloquence of what you say. It's the clarity of what you sense, the truth you feel in your bones. And finally, you're not imagining it. That feeling, like someone is thinking about you, reaching out across the silence, it's real. You ever get that sudden hit? Not quite a memory, not a logical thought, just a distinct presence of someone landing in your awareness out of the absolute blue. Right now, under this potent alignment, that feeling is amplified. It's more than just a fleeting psychic moment, it's a message. With Mercury retrograde sitting directly on the North Node in the boundless waters of Pisces, the ordinary rules of separation, space, and even linear time are bending, becoming porous. This isn't about who has whose phone number, or who physically hit send. This is about energy moving in ways our logical minds struggle to comprehend, but our souls instantly recognize. This alignment is making old energetic bonds stir, vibrate. You might feel an inexplicable pull towards someone you haven't spoken to in decades. You might have vivid dreams about someone you barely knew, only to wake with their name echoing in your mind, feeling strangely significant. It can feel eerie, uncanny. But trust me, it is not random. When Mercury, the connector, meets the North Node, the point of soul destiny, in Pisces, the sign of universal connection and past lives, soul lines light up, like invisible threads connecting certain spirits across time and space, suddenly illuminated. The truth is, some of these connections never truly ended. They just went dormant, waiting for the right energetic conditions to reactivate. And now, they're being pinged, like an old radio signal, faint but persistent, suddenly starting to transmit again across the void. Not necessarily because you need to chase it down or rekindle something tangible, but because there's an energetic resonance there, an echo, a spark, perhaps an unfinished sentence from another chapter, another lifetime, needing a moment of acknowledgement before it can fully release. And just when you think it's just a feeling, just an echo, don't be surprised if something or someone actually answers back in the physical world. A synchronicity, a message, a sign. The loop completes. This is a powerful, pivotal time. Yesterday's quiet alignment set forces in motion that are rippling through your reality today and will continue to unfold. Pay attention to the whispers. Trust the feelings that bypass logic. Be brave enough to sit in the stillness. Be discerning about the connections that resurface. Embrace the interruptions as redirections. Allow the emotional waves to cleanse you. If you're still watching, if this resonated deep within you, thank you. Thank you for your energy, for your attention during this crucial transmission. If this content served you, if you want to continue navigating these intense energetic shifts together, please click that subscribe button. Your support truly helps keep this channel going, bringing these messages forward. And please share your experiences in the comments. What are you feeling today? What resonated most? Let's create a community space where we can witness and support each other through this profound unfolding. Until next time, take care of your energy, stay aware, and keep listening to the quiet whispers. Subscribe for more insights into the energies shaping our world.